Thing has no belly button.
That's right. And that means this creature has never really been born. At least not the way human beings are born. She
Welcome to Second Class Cinema, the show where we watch a B movie and immediately discuss. I'm Tom. I'm here with Brittany and Eric.
Hello.
Hello, Eric and Tom.
Hey. Hey.
How are you?
We're all doing well, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's skip over that bit.
Yeah.
No one wants to know how we feel.
Yeah, seriously. So today we watched 1979's The Brood, directed by David Cronenberg. This was Brittany's selection.
Sure was.
Why did you pick this movie?
No real crazy reason. I mean, it's something that I've heard about in passing over the years. People are always like, oh, it's such a good sci-fi movie. And I feel like it's revered by certain people, so.
Do you know which certain people and you just don't want to say their name?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, just generally, like the
okay.
horror community.
Oh, all right. All right.
I mean,
So
I remember
he's-
watching Cronenberg today. I was pretty interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like Cronenberg's movies.
I think it's one of those older but lesser known movies that people respect a lot.
For sure.
So yeah.
That's the why?
Yeah.
Tell us the what. What's this movie about?
I don't know if I can tackle this one by myself.
It's on you. What's it about?
It is about a man named Frank Carveth who has a wife in it's basically a mental hospital. We're gonna go along with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Good enough.
His daughter goes to visit. She comes back with strange bruises. This launches him into an investigation of the tactics that are being used to help his wife get better, which results in a crazy spiral of bizarre happenings.
Mutant happenings.
Yeah, mutant
In
happenings.
a Cronenberg movie? Cronenberger. I could go
Some
for a
creepy
Cronenberger right
body horror going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to get into super detail, like
No,
what
that's-
these things are.
No, that's fine. I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit, actually.
Okay, so the hospital that he's at is run by a guy named, is run by a guy named Dr. Raglan.
Yep.
And he specializes in this thing called psychoplasmics, which is basically expressing your rage and letting it manifest in physiological changes to your body. So all these people go there and just rage out about how their parents were mean to them, and they get these crazy welts and cuts on their body, and I guess because science. So basically Frank's wife is a super special case, and her rage results in these tiny mutant children who are pretty much medical anomalies that run around and murder people at her bidding. We're led to believe that she doesn't know about it, but I kind of think she does. I get the impression that she does.
Yeah.
So yeah, people around Frank start dying, and he gets launched into a investigation
Yeah.
about where they're coming from. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, I guess.
Yeah.
It's so convoluted. It's really hard for me to chronologically tell you what is happening.
Chronologically.
Yeah.
Cronin.
This
Yeah.
has a lot of Cronin logic going on in it.
Okay, you clowns, cut the crap.
It's the best I can do. I'm sorry.
No, that
was good.
That was good. That was a pretty good job, all things considered. I mean, I know I was genuinely confused when I feel like with Cronenberg movies, they'll have they kind of ramp up a little quick, right? They hook you, because I was hooked in the beginning of the movie. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I see this unfolding. And then it drags for a really long time and then ramps right up for the last, it is.
The last 5 minutes.
Yeah. And that's what they always do. They ramp up so quick.
I feel exactly the same. And you know what? I made so many changes to my notes. In the first 20 minutes, I was like, oh, great acting. And by great, I meant way better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
And then by halfway through, it was crossed out, and I wrote good acting. And then by the time the movie was over, that was crossed out, and now it just says decent.
No, it just says acting.
It's like John Lovitz.
Total plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a slog
Yeah.
around the 20 to 50 minute mark.
Yeah, and then it got just wild at the end for the climax.
Yeah.
And
I was kind of hoping that would happen, though. I was like,
Yeah.
this is really dipping in the middle. It better be backloaded.
Yeah.
Cronenberg usually doesn't leave you hanging. Like, it's...
Yeah, well, I mean...
He's got some sort of payoff in mind.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say, in a way, he does leave you a bit hanging, but, like, the payoff was there, I guess. It was just like, I got something at the end. Something definitely happened.
Yeah. Even the payoff was a little like, eh.
I feel like the payoff for this movie is like the kind of stuff that gets sprinkled throughout the middle of his later movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the big thing was just kind of meh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing the budget was a lot less than maybe some of the stuff that we're fans of, like Videodrome.
The Fly and stuff.
The Fly, yeah.
This
for
did
sure.
have a $1.5 million budget.
I mean, that's not little.
Yeah, I gotta imagine
It
that's pretty satisfying.
went to putting all those prosthetic horse/monkey faces on those kids.
Oh, my God.
Can we talk about how not scary they are?
Well, actually, real quick, since we're talking about the acting, I feel like the guy in this, Frank, our main actor there,
Our maniac.
our maniac there.
Dude's a maniac.
I feel like he had like Cronenberg lead man syndrome. Like I
Like stiff face.
yeah, like I don't know, I don't get it. Like I feel like everyone around our main actor in most Cronenberg movies, I mean, obviously it got better, but like the early stuff, like even with Scanners, like that main guy was just so wooden, but everyone else around him
bad.
was like really good, and I felt the same in this. I was like, this guy's kind of like flat.
I know in
But everyone was
Scanners you
really
like
good.
see Michael Ironside and you're like, how is this guy the lead character in this movie?
Yeah. Oh my God. I just didn't. Same kind of flatness from our main character.
Not quite as bad.
No, I don't think so. He was better.
That guy's like the worst actor of all time.
That's it. Worst of all time.
Worst, hands down.
Well, that's upsetting.
I thought the autopsy was pretty lame. Like the explanation of the children, like anatomically and medically, I thought was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
We got a lot of tell and not show.
Yeah.
Which, for a Cronenberg movie, is...
Unfortunate.
Exactly. I feel like that's where his movies really shine, because he's got a fucked up imagination.
Yeah.
But then, like, if we're only being told that these kids have, like, this
Hamburger
weird...
teeth.
Yeah. And I feel
something.
like it was just like a mishmash of weird anomalies that they could throw together. Like, oh, they don't have belly buttons. They have a sack between their shoulder blades that quote unquote fuels them.
Right. I'm like, if we
They
had
have pupils
seen-
but no retinas. Like, why is it this mishmash of fucking shit that makes no sense?
I mean, if we see it, maybe it could be interesting, but when it's just told to us, I'm like, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Like, I saw that kid's face. He looks like he's wearing a monkey mask.
Yeah, and like
Not anything.
that was the explanation in the purple room.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was intercut with him like driving home. Mm-hmm. This movie did that a lot for me too, where they'd be going through two things at once. I feel like to like hurry things up. You know what I mean? Like they'd be showing like cutting back and forth between.
But it
two
wasn't
events.
like the right stuff.
But no, and it wasn't at the right times, and that's supposed to make the movie feel faster. This movie was 90 minutes, and it felt like it took us the entire day to watch it.
I think that might just be because we watched No Country for Old Men when we were supposed to start watching it. And then that took us like an hour and 20.
That's true.
That's true. that did maybe happen.
But I feel like it also felt so slow because of what you said about tell and not show. Like everything that was sprinkled throughout that was supposed to be like, ooh, and like make you want to see the rest of the movie was just not as intense as it needed to be.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
when the old lady,
When she
What's
gets
her name?
tenderized.
Nola's mother, yeah, when her parents got killed, those were both like very unexciting,
Yeah.
like kind of blah moments.
1970s bludgeoning deaths.
Yeah.
I think they stopped putting those in movies for a reason.
It's like, yeah, you see like 4 cuts of their arm swinging downward and then like a splurt of blood and then a face going, ah, and then it's over.
Oh, I've been slain.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a dead body
I
shot.
felt like they did not give us enough of creepy things to make us want to know what was actually going on.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, I guess I'll give some credit, for the time that this was made. Maybe it was pushing some boundaries, but as a 2015 viewer with almost no patience whatsoever, I don't know. It needed a little something extra, which maybe I'm spoiled because I've seen later Cronenberg works. That could be the
Yeah,
case.
I was gonna say. I mean, it's also we're comparing it to a catalog in which we really like. But I mean, this is one of his earlier movies, and so I like the main actor in this better than Scanners, but Scanners is just way better. I like Scanners a lot more than this, even though I think a lot less happens in Scanners.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was more interesting, everything that was happening.
Definitely.
I think I think
Was
the
this made a
movie.
year-
I think
year
Cronenberg
after?
movies are a lot more interesting when less happens because he has more time to expound upon those less things happening. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. It seemed like there was a lot going on here, and most of it was just barely brushed upon.
Yeah.
Like the plasmics concept. I like all three of us came back into the studio and were like, wait a minute, what was the psychoplasmics thing? Like, if we didn't really get a good grasp on what that concept was, and it was such a big part of the plot, but it only kind of really got lightly brushed upon in some expository dialogue, and I never felt like I really understood what was going on with it.
Yeah, I feel like that's what we were supposed to gather from them initially going to see that Hertog guy
Yeah, that guy with the
with the
squid neck.
lymphoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently his rage gave him like
Lymphatic.
lymphatic
or
cancer.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, so that like manifested itself in him that way. I feel like we were supposed to draw the conclusion that like, hey, his therapy is making people's emotions affect them physically, but that didn't come through at all. Like he was just wildly like, Raglan did this to me, with like no explanation of why he was accusing him of that.
Right, and I mean that guy kind of looked like a crazy person. So I mean,
Yeah, exactly. And I feel
didn't
like they
know if I
wasted
was-
15 minutes like with this guy, and you got nothing out of that scene whatsoever.
Like I had no sense that I was supposed to believe him or his accusations.
Or care.
That too.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to trust a guy in a tracksuit.
Especially
pacing around the hospital room or whatever the hell he was.
With his squid neck.
But I mean, I guess, this is also a game of like expectations here. Like, I guess,
Yeah.
what did we expect? I mean, honestly, my expectations were none. I had no idea what to expect, and I was just ready to be there and appreciate a movie. That was what I was going into it like.
I think I expected it to have a little more body horror, just knowing him, or more like gore in general.
Yeah.
But it didn't really deliver
But,
on that front.
I mean, you can see how this movie was certainly going in the right direction for him. And imagine, not knowing, 1979, you haven't seen any too much from him already, and then you see this and you're like, oh, shit, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool. Like,
I think if I had been an audience in 1979, I would have been like, whoa, dude.
yeah.
Yeah. Unless they were really just trying to capitalize on that suspense for the ending.
Yeah, true.
Because I did feel like it was suspenseful at times.
Yeah, no, it did its job in making me, like, thrilled in certain moments. Not, like, thrilled happy, but, like, because it's kind of like a thriller. But
I'm thrilled to be watching The Brood.
Yeah, it was effectively putting us in suspense.
Mhm.
Some of the shots were kind of cool.
yeah,
It was funny that you
count on
said the night for night.
Oh, I was like, is that a day for night shot? Because it's pretty good. And then you were like, no, it's probably just shot at dusk. And then immediately all the lights went out. And it was just a night for night shot, as you said.
But no, the one shot where he was like coming through the trees and you could just see like the sky in the background, which was light,
Yeah.
and the trees were dark, and he was just a silhouette, but he had a flashlight. I thought that looked really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
good
it was
stuff.
funny because you were like, yeah, it wasn't remarkable, like right afterwards as I was like writing it down. I was like, well, I liked it.
Well, no. That shot was cool. I was talking about the shot after that, where he's just like right
was
by
just
the
black.
bar,
Oh,
where it's just like hard lighting. I was just like, well, that's just what it is. But yeah, no, they did a pretty good job with most of that stuff. Like that wasn't anything I was complaining about. I saw everything I needed to see as far as what was on the screen. So always good. Eric, what do you got?
I think the practicals are pretty fucking amazing for 1979.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
Aforementioned Squid Neck was pretty creepy.
yeah. Effectively
Nola's weird external uterus
Yeah.
was terrifying in an appropriately Cronenberg way. That was extremely well done. And I would be hard-pressed to think of a movie from this era that kind of had that kind of effect. So I can definitely see why this is well-respected as being maybe like the father of this kind of genre. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It was good for being minimal.
Yeah, I mean,
They didn't really utilize it a lot.
no, they saved it all for they saved obviously the most disgusting part of what was going to happen for the literal end of this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought that whole scene was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a good payoff.
Like, what? But I don't understand why. It's just really gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. There wasn't too much from this movie that I thought I was just like, I liked that.
I'm with you.
You know?
I have one favorite part.
You have one favorite part?
Yeah.
What part is that?
I don't want to talk about it yet. When we get to favorite parts, but I do actually have a negative that I forgot to mention.
Okay.
Well, we did touch upon it, but I wanted to elaborate how unscary the fucking brood was.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
like,
my big issue.
They were so stupid. They were just little kids with horse/monkey faces and like blonde hair peeking out of their hoodies. That's all they were. They're so not scary.
I think they were supposed to be like deformed versions of Candace or Candy, the daughter, or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, they all just looked the same.
I feel like Candace was creepier than the brood was. She
Right?
always looked like she was on barbiturates or something. I don't know.
Dude, that poor kid.
Yeah.
She was like traumatized. I felt so
Yeah.
bad for her the whole time. She's just in shock for an hour and 40 minutes.
Those those little kids looked like Stink from Land of the Lost.
I don't know what that is.
He's like a monkey thing.
I might know what that is.
You're talking about the one that came out in like the late 90s? Like
Yes,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The 90s
That
version.
terrifying piece of CG that should have never been released in the world.
Well, yeah, and it was like a weird like brown thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of looked like that in the face.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when the kid turns into a monkey in Jumanji,
Yeah, totally.
but like really pale and Caucasian and not furry at all.
Yeah, that was weird. So now that we've successfully ruined successes with failures.
I do have questions.
Okay.
I wanted to know why Nola was there in the first place.
What do you mean?
Like-
Why she was in the hospital?
Yeah, like did she do something crazy that warranted her being there? Was it just because she was an alcoholic who was like fucked up because her parents were alcoholics?
Everyone in this movie was an alcoholic.
I know.
It was the 70s.
That's true.
Because her mom like beat her or whatever.
Yeah, I think she had some issues. I
Or whatever.
think she had some general issues going down, and she was just a little off kilter. I'm pretty sure I heard something along those lines of how she even ended up in there in the first place.
I think
But
I
I
might
don't
have
remember
skimmed
anything
over
about
it
it.
at
Yeah.
the beginning.
It was glossed over. I guess it doesn't really matter.
So we're led to believe that now Candace has this
Yes.
psychoplasmic.
Yeah. So the end of the movie leads us to believe that she has now the same infliction that everyone else had. Like she's now physicalizing her emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Well,
had
I
those
mean-
little like welts on her arm or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if it's... I would have to rewatch it in order to make sure, but it seems like the entire movie she's like not emoting at all. Like she's keeping it all very like within. And then
Yeah.
like there's that when, the Dr. Raglan finally gets killed by like the brood, she like screams. Maybe that was like the setting off point.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what they were going for, but I could be wrong because I've been wrong before a lot.
What? Never.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too, and like she was also like crying in the car as well. And then you saw it as at the end there.
But I don't know. It seems weird to me because it seems like the psychoplasmics thing is something that's intentionally done to you.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless
Well, maybe she was.
I don't know, I'm very confused.
No, I don't get it. Yeah.
Maybe it's just like a weird phenomenon, and like some people have it, and they're encouraged to just nurture it. I guess.
Could be, like if Dr. Raglan doesn't see any potential for psychoplasmics to actually bring anything out in you, then he just kicks your ass on the curb.
Yeah.
That could
exactly.
be a case.
Yeah.
Then that means we're filling in blanks that never been really set up to begin with.
Yeah, we're now trying to make our own sense.
Also, last question. Is each welt that Nola had on her going to turn into like a creepy murder child?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because she had like a bunch of like small ones and then like slightly larger ones, and then she was like giving birth to one out of like a sac in her abdomen.
Well, I mean, there was like a whole orphanage full of them, like upstairs. There's like, I don't know, like maybe almost 10.
Yeah, that pissed me off too because it went back, going back to the lack of action earlier in the movie. There was like a dozen of them. Why did we only get to see 2?
Yeah, we saw one in the beginning, and then the 2 that kidnapped her all at once. And then I was like, oh shit, okay, there's like 2 of them, and then like there was like a whole room of them.
I know. I was like, you had all these little creatures. You didn't even utilize any of them.
I know,
Stupid.
bummer. That's it for questions. You're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Was that answer? Do we answer them properly?
The defense rests. No, I would not be the defense.
No.
Prosecution rests.
There we go.
Case closed.
All right, this has been second class. All right, let's do favorite parts then.
Oh,
All
my
right.
favorite parts.
I don't have any.
I liked when. Well, I don't know if I liked it, but when the 2 little dwarf children
Yeah.
went into the classroom.
Yeah.
I thought that was super unsettling.
Oh, totally.
That was an excellent.
Yeah,
excellent
like
scene.
they just bring Candace out and then come back in and shut the door and then start hitting the teacher with hammers, and all the kids are just like screaming in terror. And I was like, man, that's like really disturbing.
Yeah, Cronenberg's movies have a way of getting real.
Yeah, I think that's maybe where this movie was a little bit strong with one of its murder scenes. Like the ones that were done in isolation, I was like, okay, whatever. When you see like that kind of thing happening when there's witnesses, it's kind of extremely creepy.
Yeah.
To see someone beaten to death.
Yeah.
In front of a bunch of helpless kids.
And even that one had a lot of blood in the scene. Where
Oh,
the
totally.
other two didn't really.
Yeah, they made that one extra gory. Like when when Frank runs in to see the teacher down, and then he like lifts up her head, his hands are all bloody, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's like okay. Then there's just like kids crying and are like all around her, and I'm like, all those kids are completely fucked. Oh my god,
They're gonna have to go to psychoplasmics.
Trauma.
yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was effectively unsettling. Like, genuinely.
I mean, that movie had glimmers of this for sure. You know, I thought. I mean, even the very first thing that happens when we're in the house when the grandmother gets killed, and all those things just start falling off the shelves, and everything keeps getting pushed, and you can't see what it is, but it's happening.
Yeah.
And then that toaster falls, and it's just like hanging there. I was like, ew, that's gross.
I thought we were going to see some kind of reflection in it.
Oh, they tickled us with that, and I was
I
like, oh, they cut away.
I
Probably
feel
didn't
like,
work out.
You know what? I feel like they tickled us with that again when the grandfather was getting killed in the bedroom because the mirror was tilted down,
Yeah.
so you could see the edge of like the comforter and then the carpet and like the little crack under the bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, something's gonna come out of there,
That'd have been
something
awesome.
did, but it wasn't in a reflection.
Bummer.
Yeah.
That's 2 reflection scares they missed.
Reflecto tickles.
Yeah, and it was pretty clear he was using reflection like frequently during the shooting of the movie. We saw like a reflection of Raglan in one of the mirrors in one of the early shots, and then again with that guy Jan, we saw his reflection in one of the dialogue scenes. So it's not like it didn't occur to him to do it at some point.
Yeah, for sure. But like super clever ones. I don't know. If we had caught an awesome shot of like the little creature walking in the reflection of the toaster, that would have been sick. But that would have been so hard to do by the way they shot it because it just falls and it's so random.
It's so
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah, to make it
Natural.
look right. One of I would say my favorite part, I guess the only thing that I would say was the end. Like the part that actually grossed me out, that it's going to make me remember the movie. If that didn't happen, this movie would just be gone.
Yeah,
Kind of like a
completely.
society
I was
situation.
just
Yeah.
going to say society.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you remember.
So the part with the little,
the part with like the
Sack.
baby sack hanging off her. And
she
then,
like bites it open.
yeah, she
Ugh.
bites it open and starts bleeding everywhere. She takes the baby and she starts licking it.
Yeah.
And then like
Gross.
and her husband is just watching, and I feel like he's not even reacting to it. He's just like, oh shucks, oh, oh my god, no.
Then she's like, I disgust you.
I know. And she was great.
She was excellent.
She made me like anxious.
She was a fucking psycho.
Yeah, I felt weird when she was around. Eric?
I have 2 favorite parts.
All right.
We've discussed the guy with the squid neck and the trench coat.
Oh, you're gonna mention the other guy?
Wait, what other guy? Oh, the beard guy?
Be my daddy.
Oh, no, that wasn't part of it at all. If you want to mention him, that's fine. I just like that the guy with the squid neck was just like rolling around on the ground. I'm like, people in the 70s didn't know how to exercise.
Just roll back and forth next to your bed.
Yeah,
You're
he was
good.
like, I'm trying to like exercise my lymphatic nodes or something, and I'm like, you just don't know how to do a crunch. That's your problem.
Just go get a massage.
And I think the other one that I really appreciated when Nola's father comes to the institute to see her after her mother is dead. Dr. Raglan says that he's not allowed to see her, and he just kind of goes, I'll be coming back to get her if I don't see her by tomorrow. And Dr. Raglan's assistant goes, should I have him stop? And Dr. Raglan's just, oh no, he's drunk. I really appreciated that because, he was drunk.
He was.
But he was 70s drunk, so I didn't really know if he was drunk or not.
But I felt like he was saying it in like a nice guy way.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to get him pulled over because he's totally fucking shit-faced.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Not much. Not much individually stood out.
It was a 1970s movie, and it wasn't like a classic 1970s movie. So
Yeah, it
those
was
tend
okay.
to just be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And with that, we should rate it. So let's rate it then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
fuck
I'm going to
you.
have to give it an unfortunate fuck off.
Oh my god, my fucking father.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck yeah! All right, who wants to begin with the ratings? Who
I
wants to
can
throw it
go.
there? All right, Eric, go.
I'll give it a standard fuck off.
A fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do decree standard fuck off. Yeah, no, I just thought it was a very early sampling of what Cronenberg would eventually come to really excel at.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it as like an early example of the body horror genre, and really appreciating some excellent prosthetics. That said, I would much rather watch The Fly or Videodrome before I watch this again.
Yeah.
I feel like they're much better movies, and so they should be. They came much later in his career, when maybe he had access to a bigger budget, and the movie making trends of the time were more situated around, showing more of a spectacle than having like the slow burn. So I mean, if a slow burn is something that you maybe like better than that kind of movie, then maybe The Brood is for you. So I mean, if you like Cronenberg movies, this is definitely a good one to watch.
Cool.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, for sure.
Early example of his later and better work. Wasn't wholly offensive, wasn't fantastic. General fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're really into Cronenberg and you're into this type of movie, definitely watch it just to have it under your belt. Because it had some cool parts. But other than that, I mean, I probably won't watch it again for fun.
Yeah, I agree. I probably won't watch it again for fun.
Yeah, it lagged a little too much in the middle for me.
Yeah, that I'm gonna give it a fuck off. Too.
And I have a lot of patience.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess my expectation going into it wasn't very high or anything like that, but it was Cronenberg, so there was a certain level. But I mean, I guess it didn't like. I wasn't like disappointed in it. No. It wasn't like, oh man, that was like such a bummer. It was so bleh. But yeah, I'm not leaving like feeling like, wow, that was totally awesome.
Yeah.
So I feel the same way as when I started it. Like I'm just like still waiting to watch like a movie. Yeah. Wasn't satisfying in that way. So yeah, I'm giving it a fuck off.
Yeah, I think I guiltily had more expectations than I should have, just because I know his later stuff.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Which might be unfair to this movie, but
yeah,
I apologize.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, I got nothing really right now.
Yeah, no, I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah.
It was a movie.
Maybe a pioneering movie, but from our modern perspective, it's just a movie now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to give anyone the wrong impression of a fuck off rating.
Yeah, that is true too.
Because it falls on the lower end of the spectrum, but it's really just like a mediocre.
Yeah. You've been listening to Second Class Cinema. We watched The Brood, 1979, David Cronenberg, horror, drama, sci-fi, thriller, body horror thing. We gave it a fuck off. So, sweet.
Unanimously.
Yeah. A fucking sweep.
Have we ever had a fuck off sweep? I don't think we have.
Maybe. I don't know. But if you'd like more information, you can go to facebook.com/secondclasscinema. We're on Twitter at 2NDClassPodcast. We're on Instagram and other places. We're on YouTube and iTunes and TuneIn and Podbean, secondclasscinema.podbean.com.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ah, fuck.
No.
No.